Bosco Okurut, Regional Human Rights Officer for West Nile region. When we talk about torture, torture by definition refers to acts of subjecting somebody in unlawful acts. For example, beating them or burning them using a number of materials. But all in all, the person subjecting the other to the beating and the burning and so on intends to obtain information from this person or punish this person. And the trend has changed. Before we came up with our own law in Uganda, that was in 2012, we used to only look at the government officials. But since the coming into force of the Prevention and Prohibition of Torture Act 2012, even individuals, private individuals, can now be taken on for torture. So depending on what you've subjected this person to, but also considering the gravity of the torture you've subjected this person to. It might be physical, it might be emotional, but in most cases it is physical. We have had cases whereby somebody is suspected to have to be having a gun or a firearm or something like that, and then this person is subjected to serious beating by security personnel for them to confess that indeed they have the firearm or they know where it is. And in such cases, the gravity of the torture will be high, and the torture marks, the person sustains injuries, the kind of pain this person goes through, all these are put into consideration when you are coming up with the issue of torture, when you are proving torture. So, in other words, the people should know that torture is one of the rights, non-derogable rights in the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. It's among the four. Meaning, therefore, torture should not be allowed at any point. And you cannot raise any defense that I tortured this person because of this and this. I beat up this person because the person was not giving us the information we want. No, it's not allowed. And people should also remember, especially the security personnel, the people who are duty bearers, should also know that the confession sometimes they get from these people by force, by use of force, can be turned against them in the courts of law. And that is evidence enough to show that you tortured this person, you subjected this person to this kind of torture, for them to confess that they really have a firearm, they have a gun, or they have something. So, in other words, that confession can be turned against you and can be used in the courts of law against you for prosecuting you successfully. So, for the forms, most of the complaints we receive here are on physical torture. Most of them, physical torture, where somebody is beaten using these ordinary sticks, baton, gun, bat, that is physical torture. But as for the reason why some people give up, I think it varies from one person to the other. Because some people come here and they tell us that I have been compensated the other side. We have settled the matter. I'm no longer interested. So please, can you close my file? And we go ahead and close. Some people, they come and they say, I have forgiven those people. I don't want to continue with this case. So it all varies from one person to the other. And every 26th of June every year, we celebrate, we carry out activities in commemoration of the International Day in support of torture victims. And for the Commission, we always combine force with the ACTV, Kampala headquarters, our office in Kampala has organized for those activities together with the ACTV, and tomorrow they will be commemorating. They will be joining the rest of the world to commemorate. As Uganda Human Rights Commission, much as we may not be there in Kampala, but we shall be following the activities online.
Yeah, if you look at the trend, what would you say it is like, the trend of torture, maybe under your region, West Nile? Has it been a common practice here?
West Nile, we have done a lot of sensitization in the region, a lot of trainings and engagements with the security personnel, that is police, UPDF, prisons, and even all the other stakeholders. So I would say that in the West Nile region per se, we do not have a lot of cases of torture as of now, as they used to be before we had the serious engagements with the security personnel. So there are those dotted cases of torture we can't rule out. They are there. People keep on coming to report, but they are not as many as they used to be before.
What would be the punishment once you're found guilty and prosecuted for torture?
You see, now torture as per the law itself, if you found guilty, you either serve, there's paying a compensation or a fine, and also serving for 15 years and then paying 7.2 million, or you get both, depending on the presiding magistrate. If you get somebody who says you deserve both, to pay the compensation or a fine, as well as be in the prisons for 15 years, you'll be there. So it all depends on the presiding magistrate or judge, and also depending on the gravity of the torture.
If you look at the sensitizations you've done, would you say it has made tremendous change in the attitude and conduct of officers of the law?
It has done, though I would try to say that we still need to do more. We can't relax to say that we have done enough and there's a lot of change. No, we need to do more. You know, issues of mindset change take time. There are those errant officers who still subject suspects to torture. So we need to continuously engage them, especially their managers or their OCs, those in charge officers. We need to continue engaging them.
Part of the law mandates that individuals stand responsible once identified in torture. Is that law being effectively implemented?
It is. The law is being effectively implemented to the extent that we had recent judgments in the courts of law whereby individual officers were made to pay a fine and compensation to the victims of torture. So the law is being implemented effectively, in my opinion.
So as we conclude, what would be your advice as we come to celebrate and also stand together with those who are tortured in the country and in the world?
I would like to say that as we come to celebrate this day tomorrow, I would like the public to really come out clearly. If there's an issue of torture anywhere, please report such cases. Do not die in silence. Do not keep quiet. The offices are there where you can report these matters, where you can report these cases. Uganda Human Rights Commission is there. The courts of law. Recently, in 2019, we got a new law, that is a Human Rights Enforcement Act. And this law now allows people to go to court and complain on issues of human rights. Before that law, it used to be on the Uganda Human Rights Commission, but now with the coming into force of that law, it is a two-way. Somebody can decide to go to court or come to Uganda Human Rights Commission. But what I would advise people out there is to really make sure that such matters are reported. In the case of anything to do with torture, torture is not allowed. It's a non-derogable right. Report these matters. You can have our contact, which is 08 00144 207. That's a toll-free line. Call us. Let us know what is happening. Report on phone. You don't need to come to the commission. You can report using that line. You can send us an email. You can send us a WhatsApp message. Please don't allow your relative to suffer in silence.
Okay, finally, can you differentiate the public, misbelief about torture from a civilian and an officer of the law? Many people think torture only applies to those who have guns, but not civilians. And do you have, maybe over the years, cases where government has lost money in compensating people under the Uganda Human Rights Commission tribunal?
Well, like I had said in the beginning, that before 2012, we could only take on government officials. But with the coming into force of the Prevention and Prohibition of Torture Act of 2012, which now puts even as a private person on spot for torture, then it means that even a private person can be taken on for torture. Not only government officials, not only security personnel. So even an individual on in private capacity can be taken on for torture. So as for the cases we've handled in the commission, people have been awarded, though I may not be in position as of now to recall how many cases have been handled and where people have been awarded. But what I know is that a number of people have been awarded. Commission has handled these matters at its tribunal. A number of people have been awarded. And even there is one I am looking for right now. They sent me a message the other day. I'm looking for the person. I'm not getting the person. His money is supposed to be paid this quarter. But I'm looking for the person, and all the funds are not available. But the money is there. That is one of the examples. His name is on the list of about 30 people who are supposed to be paid.
He's from West Nile.
He's from West Nile. So in West Nile here we have one. In other regions they also have like one. So I believe what the commission is doing is really good for the people.